when we think about our equations, when we graph them, they always look like this, whatever the equation may be, right? And reminder that this is our y, so when it's in this format, this is also representing the y. It's just, what is y? So what should we do here, given that they gave us an equation? Graph it and look at the chart. Okay, so let's enter negative 2x squared minus 4x into the calculator. Once you have it graphed, even if you don't see the graph, just double check the equation before you hit enter, and then press Control T, and we're going to look at the graph. Now, again, the negative 3 is the x, so they're wanting the y. So if this is negative 3, then the y is negative 6. So that should be negative 6 for our answer there. All right, the next one is which set of ordered pairs represents y as a function? So again, just asking what is a function here. So look at your x's. We want to make sure the x's don't do what? Do not repeat. So function, we know x's do not repeat. All right, so that first one doesn't. Let's look at the second one. That negative 1 repeats there, so B's out. Anything repeat on C? The 3's. Anything repeat on D? The 2's. So then this one, our only answer is going to be A. So unlike the other ones that also ask about functions, this one was not in a graph, bless you. This one was looking at points. So we do have to remember that the x's do not repeat here. And then the last one, it says the line is graphed on the coordinate grid. Which statement about the line is true? It says the equation is x equals negative 3, and the slope is undefined. The equation is y equals 3, and the slope is negative 3. The equation is x equals negative 3, and the slope is 3. And the equation is y equals 3, and the slope is undefined. What type of slope goes up and down? Okay, so think of it this way. Your 0 goes this way. And if you were to run your pencil along this line, you could make a Z. Z for 0. Well, the one that goes up and down, if you run your pencil along it, you can write undefined. Okay? Don't know if that helps those of us that struggle with identifying which one's which, but if it does, write it down, something y'all can look at. So if this one is undefined, which options can I eliminate?
B and C.
B and C. So this one is saying it's the slope is 3. The slope is 3. All right. So now we're asking, okay, so then what equation is it? Is our line going through? Is it going through the x or is it going through the y? It's going through the x, so that should be A. Okay. D would be a 0 slope because our equation is always in y equals mx plus b. So if y is just 3, then there's a 0 slope with that. That would be a 0 slope. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and go on to the notes. Today's going to be all graphing and matching. Okay? So here's the pieces I need you to write down. Graph everything. Whatever they give you, and this is something I was stressing as some students were doing either homework or doing makeup work. I said, if there's an equation, graph it. Graph it. If there's points, compare the points. If there is a table, compare the table. Just graph and match it. Number 2, it says replace the variables with x when needed. So we'll see that here on problem 2. I already have it there for you. It says replace it with the x's. We cannot graph any other variable other than x. Okay, so anything that's not an x, we're going to go through and we're going to replace them with the x's. All right, so the good thing is with these calculators, they don't have to be in the slope-intercept form format or the quadratic standard form format to graph it. We can do it in factored form. So when it says equivalent, anytime it says equivalent, you're looking for that exact equation. The first one says, what expression is a factored form? So all it's asking for in factored form is equivalent. So they're just looking for the equivalent equation, all right? So we're going to graph it, and then we're going to match it. So I'm going to graph 2x squared minus 25x plus 63 first. That's going to be the first one. So let me just open up a new document. All right, let's enter 2x squared. 2x squared minus 25x and then plus 63. All right, so this is what we have. And we want the other equation to be equivalent to it. We just want the factors of it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and press tab, and I'm going to enter the first option. The first option is x plus 9, and then 2x plus 7. So I'm going to enter that exactly as it is. So I'm going to put parentheses, x plus 9, and then we're going to do 2x plus 7. All right, make sure you close it at the end. And if it's equivalent, where should this graph be? If it's the same one? Right on top of it, okay? Is it on top? Nope. So it's going to go to the next one. Reminder, don't open up a new graph. With your little cursor, come over here to your equation, the one that's not the answer, and just double click it. And then you can just go over with your little mouse pad or the little pad in the center and just change it to be what you need it to be now. So I'm going to make this a minus 9 and a minus 7. Okay, I'm going to go over. Again, if it's the same one, it should match. Does that one match? Yes, then that one is your answer. All right, so then if you want to go through all of them, you can. I went through all of them for you. We know that one's the answer, okay? All right, so now on number 2, we're doing the same thing. The only thing is, if there's something other than an x, we have to replace it with x's. So this one is going to be 3 over 2x plus 1, and then 1/2 x plus 3. So if you want to, you can replace it on your paper. Again, these are all going to be x's because we cannot graph anything other than the x. All right, some of you were trying to graph a different letter, right, and we couldn't do it. The calculator will not read it. All right, so I'm just going to open up a new document from here. So I'm going to press Control Doc and go to a new graph. All right, the first one says 3 over 2, x plus 1. Those of you that came in, make sure to grab a calculator on the way in, please. And then 1 over 2, x plus 3. All right, before you hit graph, and this goes for any problem, look it over, make sure this is exactly what you want. You want 3 over 2x plus 1, and then 1/2 x plus 3. All right, we want it to be equivalent. So again, we're looking for the exact same picture here. So I'm going to go to the first one. I'm going to go to this one, but I'm going to make sure that I don't put that p. We're going to be putting the x here. All right, make sure you put the x. I'm going to do 2x squared plus 3. All right, so we're going to press tab. We're going to enter 2x squared plus 3. Do we get the exact same graph? We don't. Reminder to edit. You're just going to come up, double click, and you're just going to fix whatever it is that needs to get fixed on that equation. So here it's just, that needs to be a 4. So 4x squared plus 3. All right, let's see if this one's it. Not it. All right, let's go to the next one. So this one's a little longer. This one's going to be 3 over 4. X squared plus 5x. And then plus 3. All right, well, that one was a perfect match, right? All right, so that one's going to be our C. All right, let's go down to the next one. So the next one's the same way. Let me go ahead and have you try the next one. So just make them into x's. So make this into an x, this into an x. Anything that is something other than an x, a different variable. Just make them into x's. Again, those of you that just walked in, we're looking at equivalence. If we're looking for something to be equal, because that's what equivalent means, then we're looking for the answer choice to be graphed right on top of the function that is given. So graph the function first. I want to graph this one first. And then as you put your answer choices, you want to see which one overlaps it. Okay, so on the first one, what did y'all get for number 3? Which one? F, good. How about number 4? Should be B, good job. Should be B. And then on 5, F, G or H or J? F, okay, should be F. All right, and then 6 is different. So the reason 6 is different If you notice on example 1, on this one it was factored form. So they had two factors or two set of parentheses that gave me this equation. On this one, it says what is a factor. So you're only looking for part of it. So if I graph this one here, this one's going to give me a u. It's going to give me a u. So let me graph it real quick. So 36, let me open up a new document. So 36x squared minus 49 gives me this u, okay? Your quadratic. If I enter the first option, if you start looking at the equations, they're not going to be u's. These are going to be linear functions. These are going to go straight. Now, what you're looking for as an answer, because it's a factor, it has to hit, so if this is your x and y, it has to hit in the same spot as one of your x-intercepts. So we already saw that A is not an option. So I'm going to make it now look like option B, which is 6x minus 49. So I'm going to make it into 6x minus 49. That one doesn't hit either, so it's not B. All right, let's look at C. This one's 18x. And then minus 49. That one's not either, so let's check the last one. This one is 6x minus 7. You see how that one hits right there at the same spot? You could also see if they're hitting in the same spot, you can do menu. You could analyze it and look for the intersection. And as long as there is one, then you're good. But you could also just look at the graph there. All right, so that one was hitting here on the right side. So that's just part of your answer. So it's not giving you the full U, it's just giving you part of that U is what it's doing, okay?